And Happy New Year, everyone from the Community Engagement Committee. And we have Susan Fattig here with us and Katie helping us here this evening. So kind to be here in the village office on such a cold night. Well, we can swap again.
I'm sure I can. All right, so just kind of.
So I'd like to, first of all, go over and approve the December meeting minutes.
So I took minutes and sent them around. I didn't get comments, but they actually had 2 questions in them.
Oh.
So maybe I'll just ask them. One was, we talked about the Halloween event. No. The first one was on the anniversary event. And I wrote what I thought we said, but then I wrote, did we discuss forming a committee to work on the event? Or is it the village manager or the council who's leading? Like, what were the next steps? I couldn't remember.
Or which event was this?
The 40th anniversary.
I think it's the council and me kind of taking the lead on this one because it is the 40th.
That's fine. I just wanted to
Unless-
note it, and I didn't remember where we decided. So I will correct that. So it's the council and manager, what with support from the
Absolutely,
committee?
yep.
Input, solicitation of
Yeah,
comments.
comments and.
So only comments. So you don't want us to lead any of the historical stuff or?
Oh, well,
I mean,
Well,
maybe, but in terms of planning.
yeah, some of the
Okay.
logistics or scheduling logistics, but we're gonna talk about it later.
Okay,
So
so
there'll
I'm
be
right
more.
with,
y-
with
te-
support
more
as
on
needed.
that.
How's
Yes, to come. We'll have more of a discussion like we
okay,
do.
yeah, no, I know it's on the agenda.
Yeah.
And then the other one was, it was also recommended that the council consider extending the current committee through the Halloween event so that the new committee doesn't have to rush to support the details of the event at last minute, but then I didn't know what the next steps were.
Yeah, the council can't actually do that because
Okay.
every committee ends on June 30th, the end of the fiscal year.
It will technically be a new council as well, so.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
can't,
it's
you
just
can't
an
ask
issue
this.
of who does the event, that's what.
yeah, so, I mean,
I think it's just always gonna be kind of rushed
Okay.
because
yeah,
That's fine.
timing is.
So I'm gonna write, unfortunately, this
Where
is
it
not
falls on the
possible.
calendar.
Not
Yeah.
possible, closed.
We can reappoint you fast.
yeah,
I
that's
know.
what I was gonna say. It depends to
Yeah,
some degree on how long it takes to get committees.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank
Find
you.
it.
So I will make those changes and then you guys will have to approve. Can we just approve with those changes?
You can, yeah, you can just say I move to approve the minutes as amended.
Okay, I have to, whatever, approve the minutes as amended. Any,
Second.
okay, and then do I send them to you? Is that, and you post them? How do they get
Yep.
posted?
The final, just send them to me.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Okay. Let's do a debrief on the Night of Lights in the Rain, which really turned out to be a great event. And, I mean, it really did work out very well. And
I would agree on my little block.
I think it was an outstanding turnout of people and,
Considering the rain, it was a very good turnout.
I know,
Successful,
especially
yeah.
considering.
Everything
rain. I
about it was
So
great.
surprised at how many people we had.
So I got some comments that people loved the event and they wanted, but they were like, could we consider doing it again, but not in the middle of the winter?
I know.
I got few people said that to me. And so I was trying to think of something that represents light that was at another time of year where because it's a great way for people to walk around, meet neighbors and.
Well, we could do one of the, like, not the, what do you call it? The winter
Like the
solstice or the
vernal-
summer, right? We could do
vernal
like the
equinox.
spring or
Yeah.
fall solstice or whatever you
Mhm.
call it. I don't know.
To honor
Like
that
September.
equinox, so that's a good
21st.
idea.
Yeah,
Mhm.
September 21st or
Something
March
Wait a minute,
21st.
see,
I'm sorry, we
whatever
didn't
it is.
decide who's taking notes.
Oh, I am.
Okay, so I just want to make sure. So maybe we think about doing it
We
again.
do an arbor walk once a year as well with the tree supervisor. So that's a walkabout. I don't think it replaces the light event. But that is something to think about, and to promote in the spring.
So if
every
we
year.
did it around an equinox, when are they? So
It's March and September.
March
Yeah,
and
the
September.
Like it's.
And do we have
20th
other events? I
sometime in
know you
there.
were trying to space things a bit, which is a
Uh,
good idea.
No, I mean, we have our 40th anniversary and our brunch in February, right? So
March.
March, well, there you go.
First weekend of March.
Oh, it is in March.
Does that mean that
We could-
we don't want to do it again in December?
I don't know. So
Yeah.
maybe maybe we put that to consider whether we do it, because we don't have to decide now, right? And it would be nice to have Yasmina's input since this was her original idea.
Yeah.
So maybe whether we do it in the, what was it, September or December
Yeah,
or,
like a movie night in September or something, but yeah, we.
and it doesn't have to be equinox. Maybe we can think of something else, but
Right,
but
related.
when it's warmer.
Then everything is when it's warmer,
It was
basically.
abnormally cold this year.
Yeah,
Right.
So-
and it
Yeah.
still is.
All right,
Just
Keith,
gonna
what do
say.
you project for next?
You also could do a rain date. I don't
Yeah,
normally
we
like
could.
to do that with our events because
But that would have
you just
helped.
need to steam,
Yeah.
full steam ahead regardless. Who
Yeah.
comes. But it was well attended, so I wouldn't want a couple comments to kind of, waylay this entire event.
But-
Yeah.
Especially because it did take us 2 years to kind of get this off the ground.
It's hard to do in the cold.
I was actually surprised at how many residents participated,
Yeah.
how many lights, how many luminaries were
Well, yeah,
on.
there were a lot of
And
them.
also, I think one thing that might help next year is to have the stations on porches, like you had yours on the porch,
And you
which
did,
was
yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
And you had the
yeah.
tent over yours.
Yeah.
I
And
think
if-
I was the one.
If we
that
just
was
started with that,
standing in the
I
rain.
think.
Plan for that. Well, then if we're taking other notes, so if we can have coverings, that,
Yeah,
but
Mhm.
it's still people don't want to go out in the rain, but.
yeah.
And then the other, I got one comment from somebody when we were organizing it, could we provide like a tablecloth or something? We can decide whether we want to do that, but it's good to note.
Actually, yeah, someone did take notes. That went around in the notes. We have a typical tip.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have to have.
But if we
some
wanted a
of our
festive one to go
Yeah.
along with it.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
we do
I thought it
have
was easy.
green tablecloths.
Oh, we could have.
They get really dirty immediately when we have an event, and then the cleaning fee for them is
Oh, it's not worth
unbelievable
it.
expensive.
No, I was thinking
Yeah.
maybe like for a
And we
holiday,
have done like plastic ones.
Yeah, those plastic or
throw
paper
away
ones that you have,
but-
just so you can have a few.
Yeah.
There she is.
Just debrief on
That's
the-
okay.
All right, let's start all over again.
Here's Vernon. That's okay, no worries. And I think, it depended on the station, like I definitely customized and individualized mine, so I had a tablecloth.
Yeah.
I
You
do.
know, yeah, but
Someone else
if we
one.
wanted, yes, we could provide a tablecloth with, but probably.
See what Yasmina has to say about this.
We're
But we could go
debriefing
back.
on the night of lights.
Continue, keep going.
But there's one comment we talked about a little bit was, there were a few suggestions of doing it on a different time of year when it's warmer to walk around.
Oh, it's a good possibility.
And then we talked about, the equinox or what other times there could be, but I'm not sure we have to decide right now. If someone would like to keep it when it is. I don't know.
Well, if we, let's, just theoretic, we have events every year we have the Halloween event. We have what else? We have the movie night that's Labor Day
September.
weekend. So then we have October. We have nothing in November, which is fine because things get very busy. And this was at a very busy time, I will
That's
say.
that's the other limit.
Yeah, it's very busy. We could move it to January. That doesn't help with the weather, but at least it's less busy. I know I have nothing going on in January.
Maybe we could
Um,
do it the first week of December next year, a little earlier in the season.
It's still very busy because Thanksgiving,
There's no escaping
Hanukkah, I
busy.
mean.
Yes.
there's
Or you could do it in
it's
April.
Always.
You could have welcome.
Right,
spring
so what
events.
other events do we have that are always at the same time of year?
I mean, I think that kind of takes away the nights of lights.
I
We didn't
know,
wanna
that
do it when
was-
it gets dark early, because the other feedback we got was to
Mm.
do it earlier because of little kids.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe, I think.
Maybe we just suck it up and it's a cold event and
maybe
we just
have a
keep it when
rain
it is.
date. Maybe we have a
Yeah.
rain date.
Maybe we
next
just have a
time,
rain date.
You
yeah.
know,
I think we're gonna keep it in December.
Yeah, I think it sounds
And
like,
if you do a rain date, the only issue is, you make
When?
it Saturday night with the alternative being Sunday or.
you
people
can't do
gonna
a Saturday night in December.
Right,
It's
so what
just
do you do? A Sunday and a
a
Monday?
Sunday to a Sunday.
Well, the
Just
next
do it
week
the
is
next Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Let me just say
Yeah,
that
I can't do it around-
you ladies really
I thought it was
did a
beautiful.
fantastic job with this.
It was
It
like a huge group. Everyone around this table helped.
Well, I,
so
it was
much.
more you guys.
Yeah.
It really wasn't me now.
And
You were the-
I just handed out a few flyers, that's all.
It was a beautiful event. It
like
was just-
so many
the
people
weather
were
didn't go-
outdoors, and like, look at Quincy, like they got incredible turnout.
Yeah.
Did they
you know?
really?
It was
Yeah.
the worst conditions possible. I mean.
It really was.
It made me mad at my street, I'll have to say, because everyone else got
60 or
so many more
70
people.
people.
Our street was a bust.
I thought
Oh,
it was success.
Sorry.
You know?
got the 4 people.
Well, also,
Um,
we had a
and I was
ton of
covered.
like the
Yours was
stuff you
fun.
dropped off, we had a ton left over.
Yeah.
Because we did a cookie exchange, so we
That
had a
is
bunch of
awesome.
people bring, I had more than I
Such a
started with.
lovely
That's a
idea.
nice
So,
idea too. Yeah.
That
That was awesome.
but we didn't need as much by way of cookies.
Right.
And then we had we had a lot left over, actually. We had a whole hot chocolate thing my husband brought into work. I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Well,
We
we
had-
lost 2 tables and I think
Oh,
we could have
that's
had
why we had
less
so much.
supplies,
Oh, okay.
especially if we're doing, that might be a good lesson learned for next year is
Yeah.
pare down the supplies.
Mhm.
Especially if people do cookie exchanges and really look at targeting folks with front porches. I was so envious of your front porch when I came by.
Yeah.
Um,
It's great. It makes it easier.
You know, and we did ours indoors and it worked out, but I don't know that everyone came who might have come in,
Mhm.
like, you know,
Yeah,
if
the
it were
front porch is.
outside.
Yeah.
Front porch is easier, is so much more accessible to
Well,
everyone.
there's enough front porches in this neighborhood.
True.
And we have a couple tents we can always give, and Katie set up under a tent and that seemed to work well.
So maybe we can look at a calendar.
Only because I had too much junk on my. Too many decorations, but I gladly would put it on my. porch.
It's beautiful.
Maybe you're right. We look at a calendar and we choose one Sunday and then the alternate. second Sunday.
On Michael's original point, I think moving events of this size become logistically improbable, especially
Mm.
around the holidays. So
Yeah.
I think you have it.
We did the best we could.
Got through it, yeah.
Well, you also can't move your orders, then we pre-ordered the food and it was
Exactly.
already, made and.
Becomes a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you tell them further enough in advance, maybe, but if of a date, rain date, yeah.
And we did order too much hot chocolate, and I know we had 2 tables drop out.
There's no
Last
such thing as too much hot chocolate.
Where are you?
Exact thing on unfortunately.
Oh, that was my other note.
Who dropped out?
Dropped off the hot
Dropped
chocolate
yeah.
at your house.
If we're keeping those for next year, I would go with a different cookie vendor.
A different cookie vendor, okay.
Mhm.
And why?
If five
They were
cookies, we'll go with
Overly
that.
sweet and hard and not very good.
I don't remember who we used. 'cause we didn't even
They're
eat them.
popular.
We use the corner bakery and I totally think that's, yeah, if
It used to
any,
be
if
good,
we have
but
a
it wasn't good.
volunteer who would like to research another vendor, that would be lovely.
Disappointed, we
mean-
tried these.
And I'll
Well,
say,
maybe we don't need cookies or.
No, you-
for,
Cookie exchange is a
Yeah,
great
that's a-
idea.
It's a nice idea.
It's
and
a real
we'll
do it,
Right.
but you know, my street is not very street-like. I mean, it's
Oh.
not very warm.
No.
It's not. People didn't come. There,
Mm.
I have people, my neighbors complain that the other neighbors won't let their kids play with them. It's a rivalry around the Catholic schools. It's
Yeah,
weird.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
So,
That's-
so I don't know if I'd ever have a cookie exchange.
Yeah, right. So offer cookies, but we'll say no. Maybe we can decline them if we're doing it.
No.
Let me
It's
get
like-
over there on Bradley Isle, change their
vendor.
attitude.
Work on it. I'm gonna work on it when the weather gets warmer. Try and do more.
There was some confusion. I felt bad for the chestnut coordinator. He is a lovely porch and he was confused. He thought it had been canceled and he saw
was
me
that?
setting Jim Joyce.
Oh, Jim,
He was like, came
he's
up
your
to me
neighbor.
while I was like
Oh.
putting the tin, he's like, did you know it's canceled, Katie? And I'm like, oh, no, it's not. You know, where did you hear that?
he didn't, I didn't.
So
cancel
it's
it,
just
thank
sort
you.
of, we funneled everybody to Chestnut and Taylor. I think I'd originally been at Taylor and Summit, but then I would have had to set up in front of somebody else's. So it worked out. It worked out in the end, but yeah, I think, I don't know what happened, but it worked out. It's fine. He has a lovely porch and I think
So
we
maybe
could,
we could,
go
they
back to
like,
him.
yeah, because we can communicate with folks who
Yeah.
showed their willingness directly.
Yeah,
And
sure.
it will make communication a lot smoother. I
Yeah.
think this was the first year that we did it.
Mhm.
People was trying to wrap their
Oh, yeah.
minds around it. Some
We did it
people,
pretty late.
some of the
Yeah.
street captains was super busy and still helped out and
Mhm.
with a pre-last minute request, which
Sure.
which so appreciative to the street captains. And if we could put out a thank you to them, that would be so nice. Shout out in the newsletter. They were awesome.
They were-
You know, so, but we've learned some things and I think next year hopefully would be smoother. Apart from packing the bags, I thought the logistics were pretty easy, but packing the bags was.
The back was a fun
It
bonding
was
experience.
totally fun. Next time, we're gonna have
We'll all have a
disco
assembly
line
line.
and music.
Yeah, it was-
Okay, so some takeaways, probably keep it in December
Mhm.
for a variety of reasons. Two, slightly better communications, and I think that's something that maybe once we get the new listserv up and running, that would be a help to do, right?
Don't ask.
Why
Yeah,
did someone think it was canceled?
Yeah, well.
I don't
Yeah.
know. He just came up to me when I had
No,
trays and
there was
stuff.
no
I was like, it's
communication
not
about it,
canceled,
yeah.
just send him here.
Yeah.
Greg might be sent out.
Some, we left it up to the streets,
Oh,
to the folks who had decided to,
Yeah.
who had said they would host, to determine whether they wanted to go forward or not.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
think
'cause of
there
the
was
rain.
just a miscommunication there.
Right, I'm not sure exactly, but it's fine. It happened.
Yeah.
Cookie vendor.
yeah, I got
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Maybe an alternate date. You seem like you think that's not a good idea. because it's hard to.
It's just
Do a
hard in
switcheroo.
December, right? and
And the
with
only other.
The vendors and stuff like
January.
that.
I want everyone to feel like it was a good event, though.
Then,
It
I
seems
thought it
negative.
It was
No,
great.
it
It was a
It was a great event.
I was actually shocked when I went out at like 7:30 or
And
8.
there were lots.
And there were
lots
lights
of people.
everywhere, and I think that was really, yeah.
Meaningful just in and of itself.
It was raining and the bags
We
were
know,
getting.
we know it was great. Michael, you and I were both here. The people were stopping by with their dogs. It was wonderful.
That's great.
No, it was totally great, and I've heard nothing but positive feedback
totally agree.
at my station. This is just a lessons learned, this
It's good to
is,
debrief, everything can be. improved.
yeah.
For the first run, I think it was a huge
Yeah.
success.
I had a wonderful wedding day, but I can tell you 5 things that went wrong that day. It still was one of the most wonderful days.
Rained.
Yeah, I got a spot on my wedding dress, it was the whole thing, I got it out, it's okay, but it was a great event, I'm really super proud of you guys, and I kept, when they were like, thank you so much to the council, I'm like,
You-
this was
not
the
you guys,
CEC,
us.
Yeah, everybody.
Everyone
That's
really,
great.
like, this, everyone helped.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. I'm so appreciative of this whole
Yeah.
group.
And I mean, I just glad that it was visited last year and that you kept with it and then you brought it back, and I'm glad we saw it to fruition, so I'm really glad, yeah.
Nevertheless, they persisted.
I had at least a half dozen calls from people that thought that it was fantastic. and
Yeah.
They want to do it again
I
next
don't think
year.
there's any doubt it was a great event.
Yeah.
These are people that didn't participate. I mean, they
How can you make it better next?
weren't,
Yeah.
And you should.
Yeah.
doing anything special. They were just
Great, yeah.
residents that thought it was great.
Cool, I
Yeah.
love it. I mean, and
Yeah.
this is, if it's only 10 residents that get together, and we had a lot more than that,
Yeah.
it's the win, right?
Yeah.
So
I think
it's good.
the other great thing about it, which I hadn't really thought about it when you suggested it, but someone commented on, was so many things require people to go somewhere. And this was something that anyone, even if they're in their house and not mobile, could participate in.
Mhm,
And I thought that was
Pretty
a
much.
very thoughtful comment.
Sure.
Yeah, I love the fact that it was all the way up to Quincy, because we never do anything up on that end of
Mhm.
the village. It's true, right? Because they're kind of like, it's harder
the
to
end.
access.
And it
I mean, I
was
definitely walk my
like
dog
in
that
Marie-
way, but it was cool to.
Oh,
to have
this is
more stuff.
Otero over there at 3,500. Okay.
But right, it was a full village event, and that was the spirit of it, and I think you all really,
Oh, that's-
everybody captured.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, love it, yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have anybody online?
No.
No, there's,
Yeah,
No.
good. I mean,
It's easier, yeah.
Reporting, it is reporting.
Yeah.
Someone can always.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Okay. Next,
We good? I think.
new event,
I
Okay.
think that's supposed
discuss-
to be list. but-
yeah, discuss and shortlist new events.
Yeah, so the last meeting, we had said, let's take a few things, agree on them and present them to the council. Is that what we said? And so you sent around your Google Doc. I know I added a couple of things. I got costs from Avalon. I got,
Oh, I actually followed up on that too, because I didn't see anything on there. And I wrote to the Avalon also.
well, I actually went and met with them.
Okay,
And I
good.
put it all on that Google Doc.
Oh,
That's fantastic. So do you want
Did I
to tell
put
us what you
Google
put on the
Doc too?
Google Doc?
It wasn't on there when I saw it, but I did it like a few weeks ago. Hopefully it's still
Yeah,
there.
no, I.
Susan, can you share what you put on the Google Doc?
I just put two things. One of them I had raised before, which was my neighbor. What was offering, art, like creativity workshops, she called them. And I got the costs and I put them on the Google Doc and I can look them up on my phone. You can't access the Google Doc. And then I met with the Avalon. It wasn't my suggestion. It was the other person.
Mark,
Mark.
Well, he said he would go do it, but I think it was,
But then he didn't have
Alright,
time,
yeah,
and so I
right.
went down, I was going to the walking by there anyway, and I met with them, I got all the costs.
okay, because I think now that I think about, I followed up on email just with them. And I think what the information I saw or got was different. So that's why I was like, wait a minute. I
They
was
sent it to me in
confused.
writing afterwards.
They did,
Yep.
okay, because I think he said it wasn't available.
Certain
So-
times.
Yeah, and then when I got it, it was.
No, I have to look,
Okay.
let me get my
What
email.
would
I'm
it take
trying to
to
find
do
my
it?
note to them.
It wasn't, if he can't open the Google Doc, I have to go try and find it.
And do you know
But
generally,
basically, what they said was, you can't do
Rentals, here's
weekends at
mine.
all, unless it's early morning, like Saturday and Sunday, which I didn't think we'd do. You could do certain evenings.
So I got different information about the weekend. So I got weekend mornings are tricky in the winter. But,
Mornings you could do,
right, but they have availability in March. So if we,
but for mornings, and I sort of ruled out. I had.
oh,
mornings
there's
on
a
my-
12:15 start in March, like on a weekend, you can start at either 10 or 12:15.
Yeah, he
That's what they told
on-
me in March.
He told me 10.
Right,
And I
this
was
is
like,
why
we're
I
not
was
gonna
like,
do an
it's a little-
adult event at 10 in the morning.
But 12:15,
I don't know. I was
March
aiming for an
9th and
evening,
March 30th.
but I can,
Oh, we're never gonna get an evening.
oh yeah, no, they said we could.
An evening?
Well, I have to go find if we don't have the Google Doc, I have to, let
Okay,
me
they
see
get
if I can
paid.
get who wrote, it was a person.
did they indicate what the capacity is?
Yep. And they sent me a whole thing with the small room, the big room, the
Oh,
costs, the times, what the additional cost for the renting a movie, you have to pick the movie. Yeah, they sent me all this.
great.
But I'm trying to think of the guy's name. I have
I
no
mean, I guess
clue.
it was available like on a Tuesday
I wasn't asking
evening.
for days. I was just asking for general. I wasn't trying to. I don't know what it would be under. Is it
So do you think we could do a weekday, Susan? Would they
Avalon
accommodate
Theater,
that?
theater rental. Thank you. Here it is, George Smith. Avalon is available for renting the following times. Friday, it is unavailable, sorry.
Yeah.
oh,
And then the Avalon Auditorium can only be rented one evening per week. It's a lot of information. Okay, they've got all the times.
You want to just forward it to them?
I can. So when it's not available is Friday afternoon, evening, Saturday afternoon, and evening, Sunday afternoon and evening before 8 p.m., Sunday afternoon, and evening,
Okay, so no on the weekends.
basically.
Unless you want to do.
But we
like
could do
morning at 12.
weekday, that could be a
Yeah.
really nice thing in the spring when people can walk to the Avalon.
The capacity was Avalon 1 seats 402, and I was thinking we'd probably want Avalon 2, the upstairs one. Avalon 2 seats 130.
Yeah.
I think we'd probably want 130. You're right, they do 12:30 to 2:45, 2.25 hour slot, very firm, and you must completely be done and out of there by 2:45.
Is there any way that we can have a reception at the same time, or is it just a
Probably.
movie showing?
I didn't ask, but I can't imagine they wouldn't want you to use their
They said if
coffee shop.
we can get like popcorn and drinks through them, or we can bring in food if we tell them, like, we could get, how did they put it?
That's my
So they
first
have
time.
5:30 to 7:45. And I'd have to go look. And then 8 to 10:45. So I was thinking if you were doing adults, you'd be more inclined to do the
8.
evening.
Yeah.
It sounded like well, I was thinking the 12:15 was the only real option, because I didn't see an evening that was gonna
Yeah.
work. And for that, we'd have to discuss in advance a contract if we were gonna bring in like bagels or something for breakfast. So I was only considering that timing when I.
So I think I think maybe next steps is send that around, so we can all
Yep, I can
digest
do
it,
that.
make proposals, probably evening, Monday through Friday, since they don't do weekends. The smaller theater, did they get pricing?
Yep, so it's the smaller theater was, depends on your time. So if you do 5:30, it's 570 or 525 for the nonprofit, would be nonprofit. And if you do later, it's 725, and then you have to pay for it, whatever movie rental, which I think they said was another 200. It's
And-
not horrible, given it's a lot of people.
And we have our choice of movies, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, they just has to be in a certain format. They also said you can try and bring your own movie, but it makes it more complicated, has to be compatible, blah, 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 blah.
All right, so $700, basically.
No,
7 to
more
9.
like 1,000.
Yeah.
So 4 and then.
Well, it depends.
and
So if
2.
it's 525, if you do 5:30, if you do 7:45, it's 725, but then it's like another 200 for a movie.
$1,000.
I mean, to accommodate 130 people, that's not bad.
That's what I thought.
If we think about the cost
Less than I
per
expected,
head.
actually.
Yeah,
Plus you can add on like a popcorn drink package or something like that if you're doing an evening.
it would
Yeah.
be really amazing to do something like that as part of our anniversary, like that way we're not committing to do it every, doing it every year and setting an expectation, but let's maybe do it like, let's do it as a first trial, like, you know, hey, it's our anniversary, we're putting on this
Yeah.
event, you know, and then just see how it goes, because it's so fun. And, you know, everyone can walk down Brookville.
Yeah.
Will our sidewalk be done by then?
Oh, that might be.
The year of incorporation.
2026,
Maybe we
okay.
could pick a
Maybe.
movie that
That-
came out the
I'll-
year.
I'll address that in a.
What do you think of that idea?
Well,
Picking a
and they didn't
movie.
I have to look, because your daytime idea is not a bad one in terms of everyone could
12:15,
walk, but
yeah.
I don't know if you can do that on the weekend. I have to read this more
12:15,
carefully.
you
On
can.
the
You know,
weekend?
if you do daytime, you run into people
least mine said
saying
that.
it needs to be a family event.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
just
the-
gonna
Oh,
put that out there.
right.
It's
So
supposed
you
to be.
really have to consider, is
Okay,
this an
so stick
event
to the
for
one night that they
adults,
do.
or is this an event for families?
It was supposed to be adults, which is
What
why we're
number
thinking evening, which
anniversary
is
is
why I
this?
thought evening.
This is the 40th anniversary of the municipality. And so there's a couple of anniversaries here. So I actually have the history page up, so I'm not a total expert on this if I sound like.
Well, I was
one,
only
that's
asking.
great.
'cause I thought
But
A
it's the
year.
40th,
year,
yeah.
we
So
could pick a movie.
85.
Pick a movie
And
from
it's-
1985.
Back to
and
the
say it-
future.
Right,
Before the-
exactly. what I was actually thinking it was gonna be much
So
further
fun.
along.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Good idea.
Although we showed Back to the Future at the first
Oh,
first
and that,
movie night.
the thunderstorm.
When the
movie,
thunderstorm,
yeah.
when we only got to see half of it.
Something.
So we could do it again.
Everybody's on.
That's a
But
good
some
idea. That's
good
funny.
movie from
You
1980.
know, somebody,
Yeah, They Almost
somebody
Fire.
suggested the Rocky Horror Show. That was a good, I can't remember
That would
who,
be
that was like our initial meeting,
That would be fun.
but something you
But-
can sing along
Okay.
with.
Doing an alignment with the year is good. idea.
Forward it.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
Well,
so
yes.
our proposal,
Kinda
like,
complicated to read.
we'll put it on paper, but it'll be about $1,000. We'll throw in, we should throw in a couple $100 for like some additional food or whatever.
Yeah,
So we're thinking this is one of the ones we definitely want to do.
it's an easy one, I
It's
think.
easy.
Yeah.
The other reason I like it is a lot of the other ones are for groups of like 20, 25, which is nice
yeah.
from a getting to know each other perspective, but this is like village wide.
Okay.
It seems like those would actually be better for people to organize on their own, once there's a listserv. Seriously, because I think it's gonna be problematic if we try to do really small group events.
Well, we had talked about doing it like multiple times, so. anyone
I
who wanted to
understand,
rent
yeah.
this-
So what was the one night that you could rent it? Was like a Tuesday night or a
I don't
Wednesday
know,
night or a Monday
I'm
night?
overwhelmed by the email. I just
Oh,
sent it to you. You
okay.
can, I could try and read it again.
So
It's just,
It's probably not a
Does
Thursday,
this-
Fridays.
do
No.
two people on this committee want to put their heads together and come up with a proposal for this? I think that might be the most effective way of dealing with this. You know, going back to the idea that not everyone has to. Like I think at the first meeting, we talked about having leads on different events, so we didn't have to volunteer for every event at the same level.
So it's Tuesday, Thursdays, it's available at night.
oh, you got that? Okay, good. Because yeah, Wednesdays it says no, yeah.
It just says all the days that it doesn't work. You have
Yeah.
to read
So you-
between the lines.
yeah.
So I
It's
think
so
the
hard to
three
follow.
of you should work on this.
Okay.
I can email back and forth. I mean, I'm not sure it needs a.
All right.
We do 5:30 to 7:45.
And 1985 is the year we incorporated.
Mhm,
Yeah.
right.
All right, everybody
85.
look up movies that came out in 1985.
Michael's
Oh.
already on it.
All right,
So
and then,
so we just need to get a proposal with costs and
Yeah.
a general date.
and if the movie, well, we'll figure
We'll
this
pick
part
up the
out, but if
movie
the movie,
after.
if they say we can have it from 7:45, can we meet earlier? Everybody gather in the lobby,
Yeah, we can talk something
the
like that.
movie starts at
Yeah.
8 instead of
Yeah.
their whatever, so that people can gather.
Yeah, maybe we can
Alright,
throw
we'll
in
figure that
popcorn
out.
and people can
Of
buy their own
course.
drinks and whatever.
No, they have like I'm sure, we're not gonna make people buy their own drink.
Yeah.
Like we
We'll
can
see,
pay for
that's
that.
gonna, it depends what you're,
It's-
how many people you're feeding off that.
You could put as an option in the proposal to the council and let the council decide that.
Okay, I mean, I can't imagine we can't provide a drink.
Well, it depends whether like a glass of wine there, I don't know what it costs.
I think we just pay in and let the council decide.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay. And then the other options on that list, so you don't have your Google Doc, do you remember what was on there?
I can't pull it up. I don't know why. It's just the reception here or something.
I'm able to pull it up, so I'm happy to share it. If you
Or
want to
from
read
Leila.
it, or if
Unless you've
David,
got
who's more familiar with it,
Yeah, I'm
since
not
it's your
sure. Okay.
document, David.
Yeah. There was whitewater rafting, which I fleshed out. People seem to think that there might be too much risk involved with that. It was $3,500 for 30 people.
Right,
So
so it's
there was that.
also costly per person.
Wine tasting 101.
That was another nice one, because it's less fair.
Nice idea.
Because it can be done virtually too. People can go there, kind of like our meetings. People can go if they want, but they do it virtually and they send out like the samples of the wine to everybody beforehand. So I don't know, that might be unlimited. They could probably have hundreds of people do that if they were wanting to. So I like that. I think we should flesh that one out more because again, it's kind of easy
Or
and
was that just with another company, not La Ferme?
right. There's a wine school in Friendship Heights that,
Oh, so some of us could go there if we
Yeah,
wanted to be in
yeah,
person. Well, that's nice,
yeah.
because I liked it.
And
Yeah.
La Ferme did do a wine tasting for the village.
And I
Someone
think
check
with
with
that
them, I
one,
think.
David, you could do the same thing and structure it like, here's the full cost, what is the council willing to pay and what would we ask residents to pay? And, so that to avoid any any controversy around that. But it would be, I think, a super popular idea and lots of people will want to do it.
yeah.
But did someone check with La Ferme about doing it? I feel like someone
I feel
did.
like you did. Dave.
I checked with them with the souffle class and
Oh, that was a souffle.
Oh,
class,
right.
and
They
they
were
said no.
hard stop. They're like, no, we're just not set up for that. Like our
Yeah.
kitchen isn't that way.
Yeah, that was
We could do
probably,
2 or 3 people, but that's.
So I mean, I
that
know,
was probably 6 years ago, wasn't it, that we did the wine tasting?
Yeah, at least
at La
that,
Ferme?
absolutely.
But if it's places in Friendship and we could do some online.
Was
some-
that, I mean, what was that event like? I don't
Tried
remember
that,
it.
so,
I think it was well attended.
Yes.
It was at that point, I
many years
think
was
you were there, Barbara. It was a mixed event, wanted to have kids there. And so there was like a little pull-out
That was a
cookie.
different event there. There was,
Oh, that was
there was a
the,
wine event
that was one
specific.
of the,
We
yeah.
did a different event where it was like
It was,
brunch, I
yeah.
guess, brunch, I
It
don't
was
know.
sort of.
Which
It
was
an
also great.
afternoon.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the La Ferme events because a lot of people go
Yeah.
and it's always good food. I think they do a nice job. And that year we had a separate room for kids. So
Yeah.
kids and adults were there and that was nice. I mean,
If we do the brunch, it's lovely to do
Right.
something somewhere else as well, just
Yeah.
to.
Sure.
I was gonna
Mix
say,
it up.
we do a lot. Yeah, we do a lot, which is great. I love
it'll
them.
be a
but,
cafe.
So the souffle cooking class, no.
Nice.
Avalon Movie Night, thank you for that. Other thing on here was a creativity art workshop. 15 to 20 participants.
That was our neighbor. You know
Yeah.
her, right?
So
I didn't know her, I just met her at the art walk.
about, budget of $500 for that is what it says. Ice skating, I love that too.
I added that one.
Okay.
And I wrote to them, Cap and John about doing something like that. And it is $3.75 per hour to rent a rink, which is not bad.
I've never been over there. They have a sizable rink or.
They have an Olympic size, they have a NHL size,
Like,
which are 2 different sizes. Like, I don't, so let's see, they
Both
gave
are pretty
me,
big.
Yeah. they have 3 rinks or 2 rinks?
Jeez, I don't know. So I love that. It's definitely a winter event, so it'd have to be sometime probably in.
Actually, no, it doesn't have to be a winter
Is it
event.
indoor?
Yes,
Ice
and it's
skating
actually
is
a
the
great
best
in the summer. I
summer.
completely agree with you.
It's hot out, you go.
My son plays
That's
hockey
when
and
I
I'm
had my kids
freezing.
At home, that's what we used to do.
I love going outside and warming up. Yes, so it's a great thing to do in the summer
That
if we
price
wanted to
doesn't
do that.
include rentals, right? Because you have to rent skates.
Right, that, here, let me just,
Speak for yourself.
Most of us don't have skates.
so the NHL rink is $3.75 per hour. Oh, I guess I had to request one, so that was why I requested one, but I'll get more information. This is just a form that came
Do
back
they
to
have
me.
like a concession stand over there or something for?
They have like a little cafe, which we could decide to use, which I'm sure it's bad and it's overpriced.
That's a ringing endorsement.
Well,
It's a Montgomery County concession stand.
yeah, it's not worthy, but I don't know if they let you do anything else, so.
Do we have, like, when you organize food trucks, is there like a minimum, like $1,000 minimum that they always require and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, like, is it $1,000? Cause if like,
It
It
depends
varies.
on the food truck, but yeah, it's around there.
It's not that hard to meet.
well, I was gonna say.
Well, and
like-
normally for our food trucks, we're just paying for the whole thing.
Yeah,
So we'll say prepare 300 meals and come and we'll pay you the $2,000.
yeah.
Other towns, including, section 3, will do a food truck that people actually have to pay for themselves, but they'll guarantee at least $1,000 worth of sales.
Got
I think that's so nice.
I know, I
have
love
to
that
say,
they
I
do
wish
that.
we would do more of that, here in the village. I love that they all do it.
I agree, I wish we did
But
that.
it would be really nice to do, and we do have, like, we could do it by the park, or we could do it even here, like, there's a nice gathering spot here in front of all the shops.
So
You
you're
could park in
talking,
the parking lot.
I'm lost. Are you talking about doing a food truck as just an event?
At the ice cream or at the ice skating rink.
Oh, at the ice skating, not at an event.
Right, we could do it anywhere, anytime.
It
I
was
mean,
so
we do
fun
them
to
at
have
our
something,
events.
yeah.
We,
Yeah.
at the events in the park, we always have food trucks.
But
and
you were saying that you wish we just had them where people could come and pay for their own
That's what
meals,
they would
right?
pay for
Yeah,
their
as they
meals,
do.
but
Yeah,
in
that's what
the
they do in
section
section
three.
3 or
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, so
Right.
that, like, if you're missing 1 or 2 meals, it's not like the owners aren't losing business, right?
Right.
But
Well,
it'd be so fun.
The
to
food truck
do.
and why they do the minimum is because they typically run at like a $10 to $12 price point. So you gotta sell like 100 meals to break
Yeah,
even.
exactly.
Which on a random Saturday might be hard to do unless it was part of a larger thing, right? Like,
So well advertised.
Yeah.
I like the idea of get away from the heat, come ice skating.
yeah, so, all right, so ice skating.
It's a good one.
It's really different, instead of more.
And that
minutes.
doesn't have to be the heat of the summer because
and-
people are away, it's hard to plan, but if we did it when school is still in, maybe. That's good.
Yeah.
May,
it's-
I
I was
mean,
gonna say, well,
I say all this and then it gets busy, but I would aim for May.
May, when
Maybe.
graduations are happening.
For
For those of us
June.
in college.
there's
Which
the
is-
election
yeah,
event
early
sidewalk
May.
thing in May. So maybe
Yes.
April,
Wait, what's in May?
the election event sidewalk event.
I
uh,
think that we're gonna have some feedback if we try to organize it really close to the election.
yes.
So after then, okay.
So,
How about early June?
yeah, I would just do June.
June, schools
April.
are out.
And the 4th of July party this year is on June 30th or June 29th.
My goodness. we're
Yeah,
busy.
June
I
20.
know, we're, it's too many events. It could end up being
That's
too
a
many
lot.
events
That's a lot.
that we can't
Right.
fit in.
It's a adult event or a family event.
Sounds more like a family.
It sounds like a family. event.
Which one, ice skating?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for
it
sure.
could be an, out of school celebration.
At June.
School's out
Mm,
kind of
schools-
thing.
Yeah,
That's
but
a
you
fun
said it
idea.
nicer.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah,
Schools
so
out.
I'll put down April or June for the ice skating to flesh out a little more.
And who knows if we're gonna get all three? I mean, that's a lot of organizing.
So, and that was it. Those were the 3 that we wanted to kind of flesh out more. So wine tasting, ice skating, and the movie theater.
So I would like to get back to Susan because I feel like I owe her a response. And my inclination is to say, at least for now, we're trying to find events, because I did say to her already, 20 people, that sounds very small. That we're leaning towards events that are more inclusive. Is that fair to tell her? Because I feel like I need to
Yeah,
close the loop.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think it would be good to, you and I can talk maybe about trying to round up people to do independently, not without you know,
Yeah, and I can tell
governmental
them that.
oversight, but actually
Mhm.
just
Right.
as
Right, but
neighbors.
that we're trying to make our events a little bigger.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
fair.
Okay.
I just,
And we always invite the local artisans to the sidewalk celebration, so she'll.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she has-
kind of
she's-
maybe
yeah.
something to do is you
Mhm.
could have during the sidewalk celebration, a sign up for a day that you set up, and then when people come by, say, hey, we're organizing, in addition to any other promotion we might do, but we're trying to organize this as neighbors, you know, if you're interested, sign up here, we need to meet this capacity to make it happen.
the other thing we should think about is I'd never done the art walk, the Chevy Chase art walk. I did it for the first time. It's amazing. But there were a few people and that's how I met Susan
Mhm.
in Martin's
That
edition.
participated.
So maybe we should just, maybe, I don't know if it's a listserv or community engagement or just as simple as putting in a newsletter, but having a group of residents walk together at least to see the ones in Martin's
Mhm.
edition.
Well, that's a nice idea.
It's no effort. It's just like your Arbor Day walk, but it's, you know, all meet and walk and look at the
Mhm.
artists in our neighborhood.
Mhm.
It's a good
Okay.
idea.
Yeah, like a sidewalk show or something, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're already displaying
Yeah.
event
Mhm.
So when's the next, I'm sorry, council meeting?
tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
It's not happening.
You coming?
I don't know if you pull it up for tomorrow, but.
I mean, we have
You
to
can
price
zoom
it.
into it too. so it's
Write
fine.
it up. I think, do we have to send them to you ahead of time to present?
Oh, no, I mean, you can just do it in real time on,
Yeah,
yeah,
do it? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
that's fine, yeah.
There's already a
Yeah.
agenda item for the committees to make their presentations.
Yeah,
And can it be as simple as the Avalon cost for the general day we want to do and the details can be worked out later?
yeah, just so you've
We're
been
considering this.
considering some
and
new ideas,
Still
yeah.
investigating.
Yeah.
And
Pricing
Because
and.
it's hard
comes to all the
to.
meetings.
Yeah, and Keith will be there, you could just, Keith could relay it,
I know, I can't.
I'll probably zoom in.
Okay. that's
So
fine
you
too.
can do it. I
Yeah.
know, I'm not free tomorrow.
Okay.
You're gonna be here with me tomorrow, just me.
She's got her other committee.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna
Okay.
try.
But if you are, I'd like to have you do the presentation.
Oh, well, I think that David said he.
Oh, yeah, he's
Yeah,
gonna-
David?
Try.
Because he's got
Okay,
a.
good. You're gonna zoom it, right, David?
Either way, you're covered, that's.
All right,
That's great.
next item on the agenda, discussion. Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of wrapped up or planned, right?
Oh.
Like, or,
They took charge, they.
We've got the ball rolling, but I don't want anyone to think like that ideas aren't open and this is like just a Michael and Katie or just a Susan, but you know, it's like, it's a community event.
mm,
The things that we're just gonna give a recap of what we've gotten started. But we have some ideas and then we would love your feedback and, you know, any way you think we could implement them or come up with more ideas, but, so the March 2nd is booked at La Ferme. That's usually the time of year we have our community brunch.
Mm.
So, that kind of falls in line with the actual kind of our birthday of the municipality, which is March 19th, 1985. Did I get that wrong?
You
That's
got it.
good. All right, and there's three actual main years. We have three pivotal years in our history. 1896 is when Harry Martin bought the land. 1916 was that we had our centennial celebration in 2016 because that honored the 1916 date when we became a special taxing district. And that is all on this DVD and on YouTube. And I found the link. That's what I was
It's on the
fiddling with.
website.
It's on the website under history. It's like an hour program. That's why I'm gonna, you know, but it was an excellent program. Very well done. Chevy Chase Women's Club, was that right? Is that where they did it?
That's where it was,
Yeah.
yes.
So and that was a more of a formal event and it's centennial. Now, the municipality celebrations, we've had those before at La Ferme. I think the last one we probably would have had was the 30th. I remember going to that in 2015. And at that one, it was at La Ferme. And you know, they had like little champagne flutes with our little like and seal on it, and those were all given to residents who came. So, you know, we've discussed like maybe some sort of merch or sort of some product to kind of give the residents. But mostly the La Ferme event, it's scheduled from 1 to 4 on March 2nd. But and Michael can tell you some details of what he's been doing and what I've been doing. We've been doing sort of the administrative part, but we still need help with like the program and the creative part, because when we did the centennial celebration, as Susan had pointed out, there was a whole committee just for that event. So we're sort of morphing the CEC. We kind of unofficially appointed you our ambassadors. You're welcome. Thank you. So we really need your help and input as well. And so, and other residents if they want to, you know, lead them, but unfortunately there's nobody's on tonight. But, so some of the things like we got the date and time for March 19th, but you know, I was thinking of the,
Wait, March 19th?
I mean,
or
the March
2nd?
2nd,
Okay.
but actual anniversary is March 19th, and we're doing it in the month. But since you know, that's the date, I mean, 1985, as you were saying, an 80s themed film honors this anniversary. We could do a series of events. Like this is just a kickoff. So you could do like a walk through the entire village. I pitched to Michael, I don't know if you like this, but like in Shepherd Park, we could have like I don't know, like a soccer or a basketball game of the north side versus the south side or something. I don't know, something like that, you know. And then there's the historic.
Because we're not divided it up.
Maybe the kids, or we could say, you know, 5 to 18 or an adult league, whatever, you know, or
We could do a tug of war.
we could do we could do a field day, that, you know, kind of something, you know, to incorporate our park, because the park in La Ferme, I know we utilize those venues a lot. But they're sort of the heart, they're literally like the heart of our community. They're
They are.
located pretty, you know, close to all the boundaries. So, so there's that. And then, part of like the La Ferme event is like speeches and recognition. So, one of the things I've been working on, just because it has to be done and there's deadlines, but like I had to mail like, some of our elected officials for, look, what do you see on here, is the citation. So last week during the snow, and Michael was away and he's tan rested and ready now, right? I, you know, emailed Governor Moore's office, and because they say you need 30 days, and well, lo and behold, look at
Oh
this
my gosh.
fancy.
Very fancy.
So these are the sort of things we can like ooh and ah and hold up. I know it's not much. We'll jazz it up. But I think we have it from when, 1 to 4,
1 to 4
And
is
we-
the event.
and
think
I-
it's
yeah.
out by 4.
by
so
4, hard
probably-
stop.
And so the
Yeah.
thing was with the 100 year is it was
Yeah.
a long program and it was boring. I watched it. It was a really long program and there was some really good content, including like Arthur gave up a good person about trees and we did this whole thing. So we were thinking for this one to keep it a little bit like short and snappy.
Yeah.
So maybe having a stage set up in the middle of La Ferme where with a microphone and bringing people across the stage to give a quick 2-minute thing.
Yeah.
Maybe if we can get some dignitaries there
Attorneys,
to present
speakers,
something
Yeah.
and then keep it moving and then people can go back to their food and drink.
Right. And some of the things I just talked to Michael, just because we were gonna go to La Ferme, and we could all go to La Ferme. You're all welcome whenever we get that date. They were getting some work done this week or something.
Yeah, we wanted to meet with them
We wanted-
yesterday,
yeah.
but they were
But
busy.
once they have that done, I would love any of your input and you could join us. I just wanted to talk to them about some things like, could they do a signature drink for us that day or something, you know, unique? Also, I think we have the whole facility, is that correct? And so the upstairs room, this was my idea. I don't know if Michael went for it, but I thought that could be kind of our quiet space. And by that, I mean like, if it's like kind of rocking downstairs, you could go upstairs and there'll still be tables and chairs. And maybe we have like this playing and like a history display, like, and then that could be sought after from like Chevy Chase Historical Society. We could ask them for, you know, old prints or something, and then maybe have kind of like a museum. Have any of you ever been to any of their galas before? That's kind of the structure of their annual event. They have it at a beautiful home in Chevy Chase. It's catered, it's a party, but then you can also go off and actually like learn about the home and the history. And so that's sort of what I was envisioning, kind of keeping that room upstairs for. And then the main part would be the party, and then like the recognition and the stuff from like 2 to 3 would be like the speeches. And then I was gonna ask you all, what do you think about like some recognizing like, the original council, or like maybe an award for, an active resident, I don't know, who community service. Yeah, well, but Paul Weller is one. We could definitely give him recognition or airtime to speak about, and he's also in this video too. I don't know, do you know of him, of the
Of the
original
originals?
council? Yeah, the OGs.
well,
I don't-
I know 3 of them are still.
Still, yeah,
It'd be cool
I
to
think that would be
recognize
great.
residents.
Residents.
Who've also been there since 1985. I
yeah.
can't imagine there are many
yeah,
left
and
still, but that would be, I don't
Are
know
there
how you would.
residents who've been here since 19?
Oh, yeah.
yes,
We're actually
Yeah,
interviewed.
definitely. I'm one of them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm one of them.
On the survey response that we're getting back, I saw there was like, how long have you lived in the village? And there was a certain number of people who had been here over 60 years.
Yeah.
Just even calling out their names
Or
for us to
names.
know that they're.
We could do like,
We
raise
could
your
do
hands,
Hudson,
like,
for
if you
sure.
lived here for 5 years.
Sarah,
10 years.
10
years.
Exactly.
So that
Keep your-
weddings, like.
Yeah.
Keep your hand up if you, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could
They
be
did
like-
that. They did that at this event,
Yeah,
actually.
who's
They
been
had
married?
everyone
who's
raise their
been-
hands
yeah.
and lower your hands.
Who's been here for 20 years, 30 years. And so, yes, recognizing the community, definitely. I'm just talking the itinerary of like when people would
Yeah.
speak and stuff. And then in terms of some sort of component, like a, what do you call that? Oral history, or a couple ideas. So Michael can speak to this. I don't know who produced this DVD, but we've had good luck with, is it Montgomery Municipal?
Montgomery Municipal Cable,
Cable.
they're the ones that edit and upload our videos to the YouTube channel and those things. And they have came in, they recorded our 4th of July party last year and put together a little video for us. They helped me put together our annual report at the end of last year, which I got Keith to interview for it. He makes an appearance. So so we already reached out to them, and they love doing this type of stuff. They're a nonprofit that we're like a member of, so they would be willing to come and we threw out 2 ideas. One was to either do kind of some oral history interviews, to interview some people around the community about Martin's editions in the first 40
That
years.
would be amazing if they would do that.
And we just, like, first we were like, oh, so sorry.
Thank you.
But, is it my perfume or something? It's probably me. It's, because we were like trying to get something, like, should we have a program by March 2nd? But I don't think we need to. You were thinking of inviting them to the actual event so they could get some footage of our party. And then throughout like the season, maybe we book some interviews with some residents who would like to share what living like in the
They could either
VA.
take them to the side there. and
They
film
could
them there.
arrange
Really
like an
appreciate it, or
interview
schedule
on
it
their
for
front
later.
porch, or, something
In the
later.
upstairs quiet room.
Maybe in
If you
the,
want to, I would do your filming. I don't know, from my experience, you want to do that separate.
yeah, this is just for more for B-roll, I think,
Oh,
to
B-roll,
just
yeah.
kind
That's
of
different.
get.
And the speeches and stuff. we
And
can
our
film,
speeches,
yeah.
What are you gonna do with all, I'm always a
Well,
skeptic
we're
about what are you gonna do with all this footage? I mean, like
Yeah.
profiles, I love that idea, because you can have them
Yeah.
individual. And I
Yeah.
personally would be all for transcribing them with a picture and having them in the newsletter
Yeah.
too. I don't,
Yeah,
I'm like not likely to click on a link to watch a whole interview, but if I'm reading the newsletter and I see a short
Yes.
summarized
Yeah.
profile, I'll be like,
Oh,
oh.
and we want to build up the page on our website too about
Right,
the
right.
village.
You could
So
do
if you
that.
had a couple of historical
or
interviews
just
or a
like
couple of
a
events.
memento like this, like, we're just trying to take kind of their footage and yeah, these are good ideas. Like, I don't know what you think about, like, recognizing a resident on each street. Do we pick one as a committee? Like,
The
Do we interview
longest-
Keith Allen on
longest
Turner? Do we
resident on
interview
the street.
CC Cumming? Do we, you
Just a
know,
couple interesting people and just interview them.
interview
I mean,
them?
I think you could ask.
It'd be great to get
people on
someone from each street,
You
you
know,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, a
Somebody
representative.
Who you think is
Yeah.
really interesting. on your
Mhm.
Who's
street.
gonna be there? Like Booty on our street has lived there her whole life, but she's not gonna come to the event.
But we could have, we could
No.
arrange,
Interview
we
her.
could arrange someone to
Is
go to
that-
her.
is
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
Micro-
She actually did
Come to the
come to
event.
the last one. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was surprised at that too.
And
In fact, she gave me a
yeah.
little
Well,
interview.
I mean, if you said that you could arrange something at home, that sounds like very
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll
Um,
come over
We
to.
just have a contact and a
Alright, it
group
could be
that'll
Rudy.
do it. So yeah, we were thinking kind of March 2nd is the kickoff.
Yeah, I like that idea.
By
'cause
no
it's just
means
so
that's,
soon to
it's not the
record
be
people
all,
and
yeah,
get-
the be all end all. So then throughout the seasons at these
Yeah.
different events, they can come and collect footage and then. I mean, I don't know what their turnaround time is, but then maybe they could even present it at the Avalon film or by movie night
Wouldn't that
or
be
something.
cool?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that
That'd
would
be
be cool.
We could screen it.
Have a
here.
little short, you know,
Yeah.
before the movie.
Yeah, that's a nice.
What we did last year with some.
Those are all my ideas. I'm shutting
know.
up.
Hope
And you could do them,
Hot chocolate.
oh, you could do them, and you could do them before the movie nights in the summer.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
could say, this is our unveil, you know, this
Yeah,
is the
That-
premiere.
I think that was perfectly lovely.
Yeah, so thank you. But again, like, that's just a kickoff. So any ideas you all
No,
think
those
we
are
could
all
just
good.
sort
This is a
of
lot.
build off of that as the 40th year. It's like a jubilee.
You know what would be
It's
really cool,
Mhm.
especially as we're trying to recognize the historic aspect of the
Mhm.
community, just the
Yeah.
years of experience that people have in this community and the attachment. And then, you know, we have a lot of people who are very new and we have a changing community around us,
Mhm.
is to have something at the La Ferme event
Mhm.
that, you know, maybe a badge you could put on your porch, like every year you get your badge or something, you know, that you can screw up on your porch, you know, in recognition of your tie to the community and that would
Or once you've
illustrate.
lived here for 20 years, you
Yeah.
get the badge.
You-
You have to
Year.
earn it. Yeah,
Yeah, you have
it's
to earn
a
it. 20 years.
I like
No,
that.
no, one badge, only when you get to 20 years.
Oh,
Or
okay.
every 5.
Or every
10.
5.
Every year would be
Maybe
a lot.
that's
better.
better,
Get a
every
lot of
5.
that, just-
That could be such a cool conversation starter when somebody knocks on your door and
Yeah.
says, what's this?
Yeah.
If with
And
that on, you can put it on with.
Right.
the-
A
with
lot
the
of badges, if
Yeah.
we did anything under the 10 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for everybody. it
just
would
start
be-
at 15 years or something.
We do have a little budget line item that's separate from the events line item for like a giveaway item. We
Yeah.
do welcome bags for new residents.
That's what our
So
mugs are.
there was an idea, we have mugs, there was an idea of doing some sort of giveaway,
Mhm.
or some sort of item. I haven't thought about badges, but,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a
name
good
tags
idea.
or-
I've seen, like, you've walked past homes that have like historic designation on them. They have like that metal
Yeah,
thing,
that's what I was thinking.
something like that.
That had 10-year resident or
Yeah,
20-year
20 years,
resident
yeah.
or original resident from the.
Original
I
resident.
love that.
Original
I like that
resident,
one.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
That would be so
And then you could
cool.
list them. I would be really interested to hear them listed at the La Ferme to know that
That's a good
there are.
idea.
Do people know there are 20 or 30 or 10 people who have been here
Original.
since the founding?
And
of this
this-
More than
village?
that.
And
That's
the
amazing.
the street captains in
Yeah.
this committee,
Yeah.
I think we could go around all the streets and get that information.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
sounds like a great thing for the committee to take on.
yeah.
Walking around the street.
That's what we need the help with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Like how many people were on your
Yeah.
street in 1985?
right.
Because
Give
honestly,
us their names and their contact number
Yeah.
and then.
I
we're
don't know how
done.
to
Will
even
you
find
have
that out.
the
we can go
contact?
through we can go through the directory and just check off anybody that
Yeah.
it has been here since then.
We could easily do
Would
that.
help so one question, because I think it's really interesting to profile some residents. I'd love to see
Mhm.
that. Obviously you have to decide who and what questions, if you're having an outside vendor, ask the
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
Would you be open to having a little small group that maybe meets and figures that out?
Oh, sure.
Doesn't have
Yeah,
to
you
be-
can get me in the
People, it doesn't
village
even
to
have to
do
be
it,
just
sure.
people in this committee.
I agree. Like that, we should get somebody else who's
Yeah,
Yeah, a
Interested in
group
that,
to
yeah.
start thinking about like, who
yeah.
are
We
those?
could even
I mean,
make
you might
that call.
brainstorm
Yeah,
a bunch of people
Mhm.
and then
Put it in
decide how
your
many is
newsletter,
realistic to
etc.
profile.
See if people want to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Only all
yeah.
people that have been here for 40 years.
and, right,
But didn't you
right.
say the survey, like, it didn't identify who they were,
It's
right?
only in the
Just
aggregate.
by street
so
or
we
whatever,
don't
yeah,
know.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But we should know. And I mean, if we don't know, like, there's people that do.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can just call Paul Weller, right?
Yeah.
They're also land records.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
we
there
can
may
find it
even
then.
be existing
Yeah.
85 directories.
Yeah.
I might even have one.
Oh,
Not 85, because
Right.
believe it or not, I moved here in 86.
Oh, you're on.
Yep.
It's for you.
I'm afraid you're disqualified, Sue.
Stressed about this too.
You want that piece of
I'm thinking about having these records.
That's actually pretty
Yeah.
funny.
That is funny. I didn't
That's
know
the cutoff,
that.
85,
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, I'll live with it,
Yeah.
and maybe in 10 years, I'll be ready for a
Maybe.
40-year ban.
I mean, Gene Sperling probably has all the.
Oh,
old-
yeah.
Is there
They're
anything we
original
could do as like
They
a
were archived.
contest of
They were all
the
here
event?
When we
Okay.
cleaned
Like
up the
guess
office.
the number of homes were in the original, I mean, I don't,
Yeah.
I'm making this up, just engage kids a
We could
little
do a
bit.
trivia
It's fun.
contest.
Yeah,
or
like a little trivia
something.
thing about-
Yeah.
I've got a trivia for you right now.
Okay.
Trivia would be fun.
Yeah,
What was the
trivia.
original store where Brookville Market is right now and what happened to it?
Wait a minute, I think, let's build on this. This is a good idea. Let's do a trivia as, you know, take 10 minutes at the party and do a trivia thing and have an MC ask
And then
questions.
have a
people write
prize
down.
for
Have a
someone
prize.
gets all.
It's not necessarily for
That
kids
could
now
be
that I think
like
about
in one of
it,
the
kids gonna know
seven
the
things.
answers.
Well, I was thinking about an MC, like someone to introduce the
Do a
next
trivia
speaker
quiz.
and then maybe.
I
they
won't
could-
know any
Yeah,
answers.
yeah.
Who would be the MC?
Who can write trivia
Ladies,
questions?
yeah.
Actually, I think you could write trivia
Yeah.
questions about this,
There you go, Keith's assigned.
right?
Keith Allen should be.
Seriously, would you
That's
write?
not the only one.
I'm actually curious. What was the answer?
Oh, sorry, I never
I
got
want
to
to see
see.
who knows the answer.
Okay, what was the question again?
The market.
Question is,
Oh, yeah, what was the name of the market?
what was the establishment,
It was,
business
gas
establishment
station? The
in
gas station was
There
here.
was
where
a gas
Brookville
station.
Market
It's
is?
a gas station,
We're
a
on top of the
butcher, I
gas
thought
station.
it was.
What
just a
was
butcher.
in there in the 1930s, 40s and 50s?
Was it Kroger's?
No,
Pharmacy.
no, not even close.
Deli.
No, it was another grocery store. It was another.
Go place.
The tobacco farm, the grocery store. And in
A&P?
June of 1958,
I don't
there was a
remember.
spectacular fire and it burned down
Oh,
and it never came back.
a deli.
There was a store that is right underneath us right now that was called the DGS. They were commercial grocery stores all over the District of Columbia. That was run by a couple of people that took over the store that burned down, that I want the name of.
Oh,
In
God.
1950, of course, they didn't get in there till like 1960 because they had it all renovated. But that was one of the most spectacular fires ever in Montgomery
That's
County.
that's another
Wow.
trivia question. The fire.
Yeah.
What year was the fire that destroyed whatever?
You've
I don't know,
got
but
two
somebody should come up with a
questions.
trivia.
You get the
I know none of
answers
this.
Well, I'm gonna give you the answer.
Be on tape.
No, I'll give you the answer. It was a Safeway.
Oh.
It was a Safeway.
Okay, Kroger's was kind
I'm
of.
disappointed now. Just a Safeway.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like 4 Safeways within
That was-
shouting distance.
Wow.
And the district grocery store became a florist shop.
Things like the biggest snowstorm to ever hit, how many inches did we get? Like, I don't know, I'm just making up.
Yeah.
What's,
There was a high.
Well, I gotta answer that. Before that, there was a hardware store there.
Was that within the
Any
village?
orders?
Or was
That-
it beyond?
No, it's
Even
just
a
outside
dog
the
park
village.
was,
It was-
yeah.
No, outside.
No, outside. You have to cross the street for those.
What if we put these questions on a card and put them around at all the tables? So
Oh,
we-
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
the
that could be-
tables could discuss them. That
Yeah,
also
yeah,
gets
yeah.
some.
Oh, like
Oh.
a trivia team.
I
for
like
the
the trivia.
table?
Yeah.
Like a
Trivia
trivia
team.
team.
And you could
But
have
then
tables
put them
with
out
numbers.
after where you can learn about it. But I think a
Mhm.
contest where it engages people to
Yeah.
listen to
That
it.
was always my
There's an
complaint.
MC.
Each other at
For
the
a visitor
table,
raise
so
their
there you
hand or
go.
whatever.
Tables
Oh,
with
Oh,
numbers.
I thought you had to write it out, but
That's
yeah,
a
whatever.
great idea.
I like a trivia team too.
All right, I'm.
Here's another interesting trivia.
I wanted to teasing.
I know. We're all gonna be like.
In the drugstore, there was a soda fountain,
Oh,
and that soda fountain became what is now the Olympia Coffee Shop.
that makes sense.
The people that had the soda fountain were Greeks. And they moved into what was the florist store, which was before that the DGS, and they took down the soda fountain.
Oh,
Oh, I got it all. I know it, and I've got the things. Look,
Yeah.
you can call my bluff. You can look this up.
We trust. Yes, we do. I
Think that's the source of the question.
Much of the trivia.
Yes.
You have to write up, make up like 15 questions, and I'm sure some
Yeah.
won't be
Okay.
great, so we'll
Okay.
like narrow that down to 12.
But just one, yeah, easy answers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
try.
Prize for
that's good.
whoever-
We'll
12.
give them a prize.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
But one of them has to be how many residents that still live here,
Yeah.
lived here when we became a village.
But the prize has to be for a table, right? So
Yeah.
enough prizes to go around the table, so we
Yeah.
get people working.
Oh, I was thinking like a gift card to something right here.
To the Olympia Coffee Shop.
The Olympia
It
Coffee
could
Shop,
be
there
a
you go.
coffee cup with Martha's edition.
yeah,
Maybe a
Make
little,
it Safeway.
okay,
Yeah.
exactly.
Not
The one
this
that burned down.
Can only spend it
Sorry.
there.
well, so it was the 25th,
Free
I
ice cream
think.
at Olympia.
I still have,
I'm
these were
wondering if
little
you know.
champagne
We could spend money.
flutes.
We have
This
some
is
money.
what
Why don't
they
we
gave out at
Could you
the.
decide?
A gift card.
We can totally,
Something
bring-
like
we can totally get something like that, yeah. I have a couple shops that I use.
PMA swag. or
Yeah,
something.
PMA swag.
Yeah.
PMA swag, like some sweatshirts or something.
Michael is.
I love
following
that sweatshirt,
our
by the way.
Stand up, do a turn.
It takes.
sweatshirt. Maybe there's a
Swag is
way,
better than just
we
money.
could,
I think
I
it has to
don't
be
know,
connected to the.
put in an order for
I
them,
think that's great.
for a table that
A
wins
hat
or
or a-
something.
Yeah.
Swag.
Yeah, even a t-shirt is cheaper. You get.
Yes, t-shirts,
Martin's
yeah, t-shirts
editions,
mass
residents of-
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. or- Martin's editions or something. I don't know,
We just need
make
to
it cute.
decide soon so that they can write and
Yes.
turn it around, so, yeah,
Do we
mass,
have any
mass
graphic
produced.
Designers.
Swag
We do.
for
have
winner, winners.
We must have some
Table
graphic
winners.
designers.
So it's gonna be
Well,
by
we could do
table.
Just
well,
the
we also
logo.
could do swag, like a cup or everything for
Yes.
everybody.
For everybody, yes, I mean, what would you all, do you like mugs, cups, t-shirts, like?
Well,
what do
I
you
already have
think?
3 of the mugs now.
Right.
From
You're good.
hosting and
No more
don't need any more of the mugs.
Honestly,
I
no
feel-
mugs.
No more mugs, okay.
I-
They are
I
nice.
have-
They are very nice. I actually love the mugs.
I like it, I like a t-shirt,
T-shirts
yeah,
are good.
yeah,
Everybody will wear a t-shirt.
Yeah.
They'll last a little while, so
yeah, yeah.
just put the logo on the
I'm
front.
gonna buy a t-shirt on right here.
Something about the controversial dog park. We still talk about.
Oh my
that
God,
story.
yeah.
I would love that to be in the trivia contest.
That was
I have-
fine,
I have
that
so
was
many
fine.
Edition, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I read about it.
Susan, that was the high store.
Maybe it's just on the
Because
edge.
they closed it like a week before I moved in.
Oh,
I had a dog. I was so excited. And then I read the news. I was like,
I thought the decision, I thought it was not Mark's edition.
It's
like
not my
just
decision,
over-
it's right on
No, I know, I
the.
just want, 'cause I had someone
It's
talk
one
to me
of,
about.
it's
this is
the
ridiculous,
folklore
can
of
we
our
get it?
neighborhood. We still
Yeah.
joke about that story that made it to NPR about
About the listserv.
no, not about the listserv, about
We're gonna get it.
about the
Rats.
resident
I know about the rats.
who abutted the dog park.
Shy.
Yeah.
Couldn't,
Oh,
their
I'm
lawn
sorry,
care
but
people
really
couldn't
appealing.
park,
Yeah,
so they were upset. Because there were so many people coming in to use the dog
So what
park,
did they
and I
do?
get it, but like,
They
the
opened
lawn
it up
care,
so
that's
that-
what got on NPR was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
lawn care.
No,
company.
Katie, she's the one that always brings all this good stuff. She does that.
I am fatness.
But something about
Okay.
that in the
Well, you
trivia.
like Katie?
all right. So
Just a trivia night as a neighborhood event.
That's
People
actually
like
really
trivia
fun.
nights.
Very low budget, but
It's
a lot of
great,
fun.
and a lot of,
Yeah.
you sit with your neighbors, you drink some wine,
Mhm.
and a trivia night, we hire someone to do the trivia night. We have
Mhm.
trivia nights all the time at my son's school.
Where do you do it?
let's
You
take,
do-
let's take this one for a
Okay,
test
yeah.
drive.
Okay.
We'll take this one for a test drive. and Yeah.
A lot of
Like a
ideas.
May trivia, and then you
Yes,
can do
this
a
is via
broader
May trivia, yeah, but a trivia night
Yeah,
where you hire an MC, he
Okay.
has his own
yeah.
trivia thing.
yeah, I
yeah.
can do those, that's fun, yeah.
People love
sure,
trivia.
that's not
Yeah.
bad.
We love trivia nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll add that to.
All
the
right, add it to
list.
the list.
All right.
I'm adding it right now.
All great discussion. So we've come up to public comments.
Well, I think for next steps for the
Yeah.
40th anniversary, because we talked about a lot of ideas there.
Yeah,
Katie and I are still scheduling the meeting with La Firme so that they know what's coming.
Right.
We need to figure out what this flag event is. We need to figure out what the schedule of events are. for the
like a run of show.
Yes.
Run a show,
Yeah.
who's speaking when, who's the MC,
When's the
all those
trivia
kinds of
part?
things.
Yeah,
We need to figure out if we are curating any sort of history presentation
Mhm.
for upstairs, what
Visual.
that looks like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If the Historical Society can help, then that
Yeah.
would be, that would be
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah.
What else? The things like the menu and stuff, they're really good at.
yeah.
One thing
have that coming.
they'll set the food up in the sunroom, but then sometimes they bring the bar out into the main space, and I kind of want them to use the actual bar space, like it's an open bar.
Yeah.
Go get a drink
Go to
at the bar.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask them for that.
People out because it's just so
Yeah.
crowded.
Yeah, we need to get people.
If they could
French
spread
fries,
food
yeah,
and
yeah.
drink around the
Yeah.
building rather than have it all in that.
There was
And we
something
wanna
over
keep
there,
the
they had a
middle
free
place
bar,
kinda
and I was
open
like, this is the
for-
greatest thing, they just kept refilling it.
Yeah.
We wanna make the stage right in the middle too,
Yeah.
so that everyone can see
So
it.
they can't put the food there in the middle. The problem with the food there in the middle is you can't get in.
Yep, that's why the
Yeah.
food goes in the sunroom.
Right, and that's
And then
why
there's
people
seating
select
around the
those
edge.
tables and don't move, and
So-
then other people who come on their own
Yeah.
don't feel comfortable.
When you walk in, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Same page.
all the seats on the right are up and on it, those are elevated, like that floor is
Oh, yeah,
elevated.
Kind of like.
So maybe that's the stage, right? And there's like a wall that like, there's a knee wall there for the
Oh.
tables, so
The
you
Rapunzel
you wouldn't
wall.
have to set up like a stage in the middle, because there's like
You
a
can stand up
stage
there.
there, it's a little above everybody.
I was
just
thinking
move the
next to
tables
the
out of the way.
piano, there's like a spot that I think they kind of do it, but either way, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, just to, so that everyone can see wherever that
Yeah.
person's
Sure,
set up.
yeah.
And we'll definitely need a microphone. So all those details we got.
Okay.
I think the,
Maybe making bigger tables with numbers, so you could have tape groups to
Mhm.
do trivia and things.
oh, yeah,
We'll ask him.
yeah, we can
Yeah.
set that up.
Yeah.
And
Remember, just the last time we met, we said we'd keep one table for just singles
Mhm.
people, so that if you come on your own, that's not for families.
But if you
Yeah,
make
so-
bigger tables, that mightn't be as big
Just
an
want to make sure we
issue.
keep the idea so that
Mhm.
everyone feels welcome.
Mhm. Mhm.
good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask if I can take some of these to the men on the, waste management tomorrow. Unless you wanna take those home?
Those are going home to the kids.
Okay, I just thought I'd ask, that's all.
Together a little side dish for them. Yeah, I don't take
Well,
all
I'll
of
have
them.
plenty, I have
We
plenty
treat
for that.
them- We treat them great.
They get,
I,
They sure did.
yeah,
Record year. We raised over $10,000 this
I
year.
mean, that's a.
How many?
positive
Ten
amount. A lot of
thousand
people.
$800
That is a
for,
lot of money
well,
for the
it's 6 shifts. 6 people come through the village every week,
Mhm.
so.
Mhm.
But
$10,000
$10,000 divided by six
Six?
people is remarkable from our little neighborhood.
Mhm.
It's stunning.
Mhm.
I had no idea that
Do
that's.
neighboring jurisdictions do the same thing? Like,
They do, yeah,
do.
in
Do they
in
raise the
different
interest?
ways,
Yeah.
different ways. but-
Jeez.
Have we always raised that much?
Yeah, we raised 10,000 last year. We raised
It's around,
800.
but we.
Like,
we-
very
it was
surprised that we
like
raised that much.
680 or 880. It was a few hundred more this.
This was a
Yeah.
record, yeah.
But I didn't even know it was close to that. I was
Yeah.
very impressed.
It's really
Really nice.
impressive.
That's why you're living in the best place in America.
Last year was. when I
Streets are
handed-
shoveled here and plowed before Brookville
When I
Road.
handed one of the guys a check last year, he started crying, like, it is the sweetest.
And he
thing
went
that
over
this
to
community-
Of course, they drive me crazy.
Yeah, he went on vacation. He
Yeah.
went home to his country for the first time and.
Years.
Really.
Oh,
Who was that?
If they would just pull over when they pick up the garbage, so I don't get stuck behind them, then, other than that.
Just go the opposite
They're,
way.
they're
But I
very,
don't see them until I'm already like.
they're very accommodating.
I was like.
All right, everyone, I think I can get past my bedtime. I'm gonna be back here tomorrow night.
For now.
So we have no public comments tonight
We
because,
need the trivia. Oh,
because
sorry.
Marty's not here.
I
So-
actually have a public comment.
Oh, okay.
Or a council comment. I
Yeah.
want to thank everybody who signed up for ethics training next week.
Yeah.
Thank you
Oh,
all,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
because we do value our
Yep.
ethics
Yes, thank you.
absolutely,
training. So,
absolutely.
Next
Thank
Wednesday
you.
in person.
Good job,
Also
Denise,
have
getting
a
everyone.
public
I gave a
comment,
verbal
um,
commitment.
From
so I'm
Marty,
I'll do
who I spoke to, I thought the meeting was yesterday, so I got my dates mixed up and I may have confused Marty and I will circle back with her. But she was very apologetic that she couldn't make the meeting because she normally does.
that. Oh,
And-
tonight's, okay. I was wondering what was
And-
going on. I didn't
Yeah,
see.
yeah, so just wanted to share that.
Oh, no worries. It happened. Can't make them all.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, wait, Can I just ask the status of,
Yeah.
listserv? What's going on? Is that
I
getting
think
done?
we need another meeting of the listserv committee where
Is there a committee?
there was a
Oh,
group, we made a
was a group.
decision and then we've got all our information. We need to just make one final.
Oh,
before it
Sure,
gets
so
presented to the
we'll-
council or not.
That'll be up and running. soon.
That would be really helpful because, I mean, not to spoiler alert or anything, we're going to be talking about the survey tomorrow night and there were a lot of
Have you
comments
tried
about.
I have not. I think these are, I
I
think
mean,
it's
there are a lot of hurt feelings about it. It's unfortunate,
I
yeah,
think are
so,
taught with it.
you know, thank you.
Well, I need to try
So
one.
I wouldn't call it a
You do.
committee just because it's not.
Just like a
official
subset.
village thing.
They can get that going.
83, Susan. At 83 years young, I still don't buy green bananas.
Okay, are we
So-
adjourning?
Be up by February or no?
Is there a motion to adjourn, Chair?
I'll make a
Whether or not
motion
you go
to
to the council
adjourn.
for money.
Second it? Second.
Thank you, David, and
Okay,
everybody.
good night, everyone.
Thank you for bringing this.
Oh, you're welcome.